Dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Thursday, March 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 80 in hour one of today's show. We'll recap LSU's pro day. We'll talk some LSU baseball as it gets set to take on Mississippi State tonight. And we'll also talk some more LSU football. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in OTB. It is Thursday, March 27th, 2025, and this is a brand new edition of OTB. Team, I'm Jake Alondra and Taylor all hanging out with you today. Sorry, I'm still, if I sound a little off, I'm still battling the flu. No longer contagious. Apparently they have like what Jake called a morning after pill for the flu now. It's one pill that you take, and it kind of knocks it out in 24 hours. So I told her it wouldn't be contagious by this morning anymore. I'm feeling okay. I'm sweating profusely. That just won't stop, and then I'll be like cold the next second. But we're gonna make it through today's show. We're gonna have ourselves a day here. But if I guess if my energy levels are not what they normally are, I apologize. That's the deal. Great show yesterday, though, guys. What's going on? How we all feeling today?
You got a little glisten to you.
I'm sweating, bro. I am sweating. And what's crazy is when I first got in here, I was freezing. But that's kind of been the last 3 days. At least I'm not crazy. You know, like, it's one of those things where even yesterday, I woke up and I just felt like absolute trash. But I'm like, man, like, am I making this up? Like, I woke up, I was like, I should go in. I should go into work or whatever. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to. So at least when I got to the doctor, they told me indeed was flu. I felt somewhat validated that I'm not like just making it up. Also, that makes sense why I was in such a poor mood on Tuesday as well, trying to make it through that day.
You did say that felt like a 6-hour show when you left.
Yes. And wouldn't you know it, probably down for another 6-hour show today. Got snaps at noon, and then Rome this afternoon. So my God, it's not hot in here?
It's not as cold as it normally is.
I cannot stop sweating. I can feel myself sweating. Can you turn down these lights? Maybe.
I've asked him to do that for years. That ain't happening.
I can turn down the lights. Y'all want both of y'all's down?
Maybe turn down a little bit.
Turn them off.
Maybe. I don't know if we can turn them off. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's not even going to change anything. But yeah. So it's what sucks though is it's a kind of crappy time to be feeling so bad because this is literally one of the. Oh, that actually feels way better. This is. I know the lighting's not as good. Whatever. It feels better. This is literally one of the best days of the sporting year. I mean, it's MLB opening day. It's Sweet 16 for the NCAA tournament. LSU plays Mississippi State today in a series that'll open up after the ass whooping they put on UL the other night. Shout out Cajunomics winning that battle. But yeah, it's a great day for sports. If you're feeling good, enjoy today because no matter what you are into, there's a little bit of everything today.
Yeah, you're right. It is one of my favorite days. I love the Sweet 16. Once it gets, back rolling, now you've had time to kind of see where every team was in the first 2 rounds, and you think that you're the smartest guy in the room yet again, and you restart your second chance brackets and, talk about how your bracket's doing that nobody cares about, but we're still going to do it. You know I love opening day of baseball as well, so the Bravos get started. And you're right, we get the rare Thursday night SEC baseball matchup, and against Mississippi State, 1-5. And so for the Tigers, you hope, take advantage of a situation where Mississippi State's a little bit down right now.
Mississippi State 1-5 in the SEC entering this matchup. Of course, LSU 4-2. Look, we're not going to call for sweep, but you have to win this series. You should absolutely take 2 of 3 this weekend. Alondra, what's going on? How are we doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm now kind of feeling like I might have had the flu last week and maybe gave it to you. But I'm really glad you're feeling better. We got Blake Baker to record you like a little get better message, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're going to play it for you real quick. Hold on. Here it is. Here's Blake Baker wishing you to get better.
I don't trust this at all.
T-Bob's out sick today. Would you consider that a poodle?
Absolutely, man. There's no reason to miss talking on the radio. They got cough drops, T-Bob. I hope you're listening, and I'm thoroughly disappointed. I did not expect that type of behavior out of you, but we'll get you over here, get you some plate pushes, man, and get you fixed right back up.
I could not be angrier right now.
I told you.
Yeah.
I feel like dog water. I'm sweating and shivering
Well, it makes sense 'cause you're a
simultaneously. I can't talk. I've got no energy whatsoever, and I got to deal with you hyenas talking trash while I'm out. I should not have come in today.
To be fair,
this makes me want to pack it up.
To be fair,
and head home.
What was cut out of that? It was the chat asking to ask Blake Baker if
Unbelievable.
that was the situation.
Unfreaking believable.
I can say, okay, and I told y'all he was going to be mad. He's going to be mad at me. But yesterday when I went to Pro Day, 7 people asked me where you were. Everybody was excited to see you. So they did miss you at Pro Day yesterday.
Yeah, guys, I have the effing flu. Are you dumb? Like, what are y'all talking about? Have you, what?
I was here all last week.
You didn't have the flu.
I was dying. Are
You
you
had
going to negate that?
Then go to the
And
doctor.
then I was back here like
Then go to
literally
the
dying.
doctor.
Who has time for that?
Then
I didn't
go to
take
the
a day
doctor.
off to go to the doctor
Yeah, okay.
and get a morning after pill.
Okay. No, I mean, it's like, you text some people like, oh, yeah, sorry, man, I got the flu or whatever. And their immediate concern is whether or not you're giving it to them. I don't even think you gave it to me, honestly. I went to the doctor with Bobby the other day.
Oh, it was Bobby.
And no, he wasn't sick. It was just a
the sickness
checkup.
around the building.
But while we were there, she was like, oh, hey, we should, we're doing some vaccination. She was like, we should go ahead and give him a flu shot as well because, it's going around.
Yeah.
We just had a couple people in here with it. And so that seems to be the lead culprit. And the timing would make sense because it was that night in which it ended up starting.
You got the shot too?
No.
Like y'all both? Oh, okay.
No. No, I just mean being in that all throughout those offices.
Yeah, makes
and then
sense.
that night was when it ended up kicking in right after that. If this is my cross to bear, so be it. Before I was kind of hoping that none of y'all got it.
Now you hope all of us
I hope
get
that
it.
you get it, Jake. Alondra, I would really love if you got it for real this time.
That's crazy.
Taylor, I don't want you to have it. Taylor's been nothing but sweet and kind throughout this entire process. Thank you, Tete. No flu for you.
Whatever.
And I hope Blake Baker gets the flu twice.
Wow.
Wow. Coming
I do
for Blake
appreciate
twice.
the fact that it was it was set up in a way of Blake Baker wished you well, and right before it played, you were like, I don't think he did.
No, because I can smell the fecal matter that y'all are about to spew at my direction before it came out of that hole that you think is a mouth, but I think is actually a beehole. Unbelievable. Yeah, where's Blake Baker when I'm on the show? Huh? You book all these great guests. Where's that every day of the show? When I'm out, all of a sudden we just have an all-star lineup of guests.
Because I was solo.
Yeah, exactly. So where's that during the show?
See, I can't do it like you do. When I'm not here, you can do it.
No, but I'm saying, but we need more guests. So if I'm getting criticized for the flu, I say let's get some
We've had
get
this
some of these guests.
We discussed this yesterday, and Jake was like, I hope T-Bob doesn't get mad because it's just coincidental. Think about this, okay? They practiced on Tuesday. They were off yesterday. They practiced today, and then next week they're off all week for spring break. Like yesterday was kind of the only day we could have him on. Because it was the only day he didn't have morning practice.
I want everybody in the commercial break to come over here and by way of apology, open your mouth and let me spit in it.
No.
And then we'll be on even, and then we'll be cool.
No.
Let me spit.
Gross. Right in the mic?
Let me spit in your mouth, and then and then we'll be even. We'll be great.
No.
Oh my God, I have so much back sweat right now. It's unbelievable.
Ethan Posick was asking about you. Ben Wilkerson was asking about you.
Damn, they were all at Pro Day?
Mm-hmm.
What was Ethan doing up there?
He lives here.
He just went out to see everybody?
And so Ben Wilkerson is now one of the O-line coaches for the Browns.
So is he still has he still not been bequeathed a full O-line job?
He's still the assistant.
Unbelievable.
8 years, I believe.
Literal best coach I've ever had in my entire life. One of the best players to ever play in an LSU uniform. Remington Award winner, and a guy who, if you want to talk about the secret behind the success of the 2011 LSU offensive line, one that did not feature anybody who ended up making the NFL, it was all Ben Wilkerson coming in for 2010 and 2011 and teaching us technique. He was such an incredible coach. He's probably right behind Tommy Moffitt, my favorite coach I've ever had. That makes me very sad that he didn't.
He's an incredible teammate.
Didn't see him yesterday. Noogie says there's no way T's still not contagious. Trust me.
It's a magic pill.
Trust me. I asked yesterday. I asked yesterday, expecting the answer to be no, you can't go to work, and I was kind of going to be a little happy. So I'd have that get out of jail free card, but he was like, no, by tomorrow morning,
you absolutely,
your viral load should be low enough. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, well, you say I got fixed.
I got hit with a. I don't know what it was from, but I got hit with a false sense of confidence around 7 o'clock last night. I actually felt okay. Then I went to sleep again, and I thought I would feel good getting up, but it did not. Did not end up going that way. Roy Kent. Roy Kent says I was headed to work, but now I have to go to the Guarantee Building so T-Bob can spit in my mouth. I always imagined it would happen, but not like this. Hell yeah, Roy. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. You know what? I'm a Stephen A. Blake Baker. You also saw what Stephen A. said about LeBron?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, come on, bruh. There ain't no, what are you talking about? You are talking out of your ass. In case you missed it, Stephen A. said if LeBron would have put his hands on Stephen A., that Stephen A. would have swung.
Yeah.
I mean,
You would have swung way up.
what are we talking
Hey,
about?
we've all seen that clip of him in the boxing gloves with the trainer.
Yeah, so LeBron actually posted that on his Instagram.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, with a bunch of crying emojis. So Blake Baker, it's on site next time we see each other. You're lucky we don't run into each other. Even though y'all set Blake up. Y'all are actually, talk about an anti-foxhole move.
We asked a question and he answered it.
Talk about an anti-foxhole move. Unbelievable. I mean, what would Stephen A. trying to hit LeBron James even look like?
It'd be awesome.
It'd be like, it's like a child. Yeah, it's like,
he's
he would
swinging.
need to do that spinning, that spinning dragon punch would be his only way of reaching LeBron's chin.
'Cause I don't know how tall Stephen A. is. He seems to be average height, maybe 5'10", 5'11". I imagine he'd swinging a foot up.
Yeah.
He's 6'1" according to Google.
Nah.
Okay, so he's 5'10", 5'11".
I don't know what his actual height is, but he does not give off 6'1" vibes.
No.
At all.
No.
There's a picture with him next to Mike Tyson. They look the same size.
Yeah, and I think Mike's listed height was 5'11", right?
Yeah.
Stephen A's
I
on
don't
one
know,
hell of a
let's
power trip. Well, yeah, he just signed a $25 million a year contract.
Yeah, Tyson's.
Oh,
5'10".
ESPN's
Yeah,
loving
there we go.
this.
Yeah.
Think about it. LeBron was on ESPN talking about Stephen A. Now Stephen A. is going to have this for weeks to be able to use. ESPN's thinking $25 million is a steal right now.
Yeah, it is interesting that that we live in an age where it's and I don't, I'm not a journalist, so I don't care about things like journalistic integrity, but it is interesting where now it's almost like, yeah, you want your personalities to be involved in the story, not just commentate on it, which Stephen A. firmly involved in the story.
That's what we're talking about. She said Mike Tyson's listed at 5'10". Stephen A's listed at 6'1".
Maybe he is 6'1". You don't think?
Nah.
It doesn't matter. He ain't 6'8".
No, he's still a child. Why are we talking about Stephen A. on opening day? What do you want to talk about? The Dodgers? And how the Dodgers just have a super team? I mean, what are the opening day storylines that everybody's into? That's probably the one that I'm most intrigued by.
Did you know Paul Skeens is pitching opening day?
I know, shocking.
It's crazy.
We did, but again, because I know we're making light of it, because of course he is, but we should point out that he's the fastest ever first overall pick to start opening day, which is pretty incredible.
Dylan Cruz is in the opening day lineup.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Give me some more Tigers if you got him.
Breggy is going to be in his first season at the Red
up
Sox.
in Boston. That'll be
nice.
nice.
Where he took over third base.
Disgusting. Yeah, which is anybody surprised by that? I know there was like...
Devers going to go to DH now.
Yeah, Devers was upset about it, but Devers is not on the same level as Alex Bregman is.
Matter of fact, I think like defensive efficiency, he was one of the worst third basemen in baseball last year.
I compared their stats like on Twitter the other day because people were complaining about it, and I'm like, okay, Alex Bregman is really good at third base.
Yeah, and Devers
is not.
I mean, for me, I just, the only thing, and granted, I don't really have a team that I root for anymore, although it's crazy because growing up, the Braves were just like, I would watch SportsCenter 3 or 4 times just to see the highlights of Glavine throwing again. Like that was
I'm watching
my
baseball tonight
team.
every night.
Yes, that was my team. But at some point just kind of fell off of it. But I think the most interesting thing is this Dodger team. It's just absolute super team doing battle in a sport where it's not like they're just like everybody's spending a lot, but the Dodgers are just spending more.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have some franchises that literally aren't paying like what the Dodgers are paying a single player.
Right.
And they've got everybody. And they're unapologetic about it. A true evil empire sort of feel. Trying to become the first ever back-to-back champs since the Yankees in 99-2000?
That sounds right.
And that's gonna and then you look at like somebody like the Pirates with Skeens, where basically their ownership told them, look, y'all have to win for us to spin. But that's kind of the catch-22 of it, right? Like, can you win if you don't spend? The Pirates basically saying y'all are going to have to find success with what we have now, and if you do that, revenue goes up, and then we'll be willing to invest some more of that revenue.
It is wild that in a sport where the Dodgers can have a payroll of $322 million, like and then some, like it's actually a little bit more than that. And then the Marlins, who play in the same league, play the same sport, right? They have a payroll of $47 million.
It's unreal. That's what I'm saying. There is not a that matches up nothing else in American professional sports. Is that how the Premier League is? Are there salary caps in the Premier League? Right? No. So like the EPL could be like that. Leagues around the world.
Yeah, similar to that. Yeah,
okay.
True. Like those clubs that are at the bottom that are getting relegated don't spend like a third of what Arsenal and Man U and Man City and all those teams.
So I guess it's not completely unprecedented in sports, but definitely in American sports. So I'm excited to watch all the highlights coming out of today.
And of the like active, because some of this is like injured money they've pushed a little bit down the road of active. So the active spending of the Dodgers, $290 million. The Marlins, $25 million. So of that 47 I mentioned, $8 million is for players that were injured, not on the opening day roster. 12 has been pushed down the road, and 2.25 is just dead salary.
Damn.
So 25 active million compared to 290 million.
That's again, that is just that's bat crap crazy. But happy opening day, happy Sweet 16. We'll get into all of it, but let's get into LSU baseball next as the Tigers prepare to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Somebody backs a bus up over you, your co-hosts, your friends. You get hit by said bus. They don't even have a CDL. They shouldn't be driving that bus. Well, guess what? Gordon's going to stand up for you and get what you deserve against the big insurance companies. 225-888-8888. Get Gordon, get it done. Get somebody who's going to fight for you. You can go to the website, see real results, see the cases that they handle. And remember, follow them on social media at Get Gordon. We see a lot of great content with your favorite athletes, members of the G team. Get Gordon, get it done today.
GetGordon.com is the website. You can have a chat right there on the homepage as soon as you go to the website. Also, check out what they can do for you in the courtroom, what they've done for others in the courtroom. All of that's going to be on the homepage. And on social media at Get Gordon's always going to be the handle. Then pick up the phone in Louisiana. Your area code, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Smart thermostats and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972.
How quickly will this segment leave the rails? It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Oh, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Okay, I just randomly feel a little better, dude. I don't know what just hit. Something did.
R&B Thursday.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Okay, so LSU opening up with Mississippi State tonight. And again, the games are set for 7 p.m. tonight, 6:30 p.m. tomorrow, and then 2 p.m. on Saturday. Again, starters going to remain same for this weekend. Could potentially be some change. Obviously, like we've talked about, Kate Anderson and Ianson have been pretty equivalent thus far. It's the Chase Shores piece that may be open to change depending on where this thing goes from here. What is y'all's biggest and look, clearly, like we said, LSU needs to win this series. They need to take 2 of 3. They are better than Mississippi State. Last year, we said many of the same things. Granted, it was opening the season on the road at Duty Noble, and, well, it did not go according to plan. But this year, this is a 1-5 Mississippi State team, and you are supposed to be one of the best teams in the entire country. So if you look at goals for this weekend, what is the number one thing that you want to see this LSU baseball team prove?
I think what we've really talked about all week, it's like, okay, well, if your starters give you enough to win, can you close it out? And if you're tied in the 5th, 6th inning and you go to your bullpen, can they keep the lead? Can they keep it where it needs to be long enough for your offense to score some runs? And, you know, how do they work the bullpen? Who comes in on Friday? Who comes in on Saturday, depending on the situation? Because Zach Cowan, somebody we talked a lot about yesterday when Kendall Rogers was on with us, like, you do have this piece that has been really good in the bullpen. Like, if he continues to be that guy, do you mess with that? Or do you say, hey, I maybe he could be better as a Sunday starter, but right now he's so valuable to us in the bullpen, we can't really go anywhere else. And so, you know, Case and Evans, does he continue to be that guy? And also, can somebody else in the bullpen, can a third arm step up and be dominant?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it is all about the bullpen. Kogi Riley wrote about it in The Advocate today and mentioned how, look, if you take Cowan, Anderson, and Evans out of there, the other pitchers right now are having some control issues.
Yeah.
Last weekend against Texas, again, this is all excluding Cowan, Anderson, and Evans, but last weekend against Texas, in 12 1/3, they walked 9. Against Mizzou, that same grouping walked 11. They also last weekend gave up 7 runs, 9 hits, and 2 home runs in just 4 innings over those final 2 days. And although Ianson's stats on the year are pretty good overall, like I said, they actually look pretty similar to Kate Anderson, save for the ERA. He did allow, and this is what kind of blew up his numbers, 5 of the last 9 batters he faced on Saturday to reach base. So those are the questions with LSU. I don't think there's a problem with hitting. I don't care that the bats ended up going a bit cold against Texas. They got right back on track against UL, 17-4. Really jumped on them just first inning on the other night. And so that is the only thing that you're looking for, is outside of Cowan, Anderson, Evans, and Ianson to some extent, who are you going to be able to rely on? And here's where I get a bit confused about Mississippi State. So not an overall good record on the year, 16-9, 1-5 in the SEC. They get swept by Texas. They lose 2 of 3 to Oklahoma. But, you know, they're 5th in the league in team batting average, hitting .314. And they're actually 4th in the league with a .339 team ERA. They strike a lot of guys out. So it is a team that is maybe a bit more dangerous than they appear to be just from their record. And so you can't just show up and win these games.
No, we talked about that a little bit yesterday. Not only their record, a couple of teams in the SEC and who they've played and how it's kind of played out and some close losses. And so, you know, just like last year when you played Mississippi State, you got a little too excited about that series. But this one being at home is different. But you are the better baseball team, but they're certainly not going to just roll over and die and just give up. Like, that is not who they are going to be. So I think even if you win 2 of 3 in this series, that is a big win for you, gets you right back on track.
Yeah, and if walks are a problem, man, just make him hit it. You know, be willing to maybe allow, because like your bats are going to come through. Your bats are going to be able to put up numbers and support your staff. The worst thing that you can do is just give them free bases that end up making those big innings that you seem to fall into last weekend that much worse. Alondra, what are the main elements that you're looking for this weekend against the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I guess I'm just seeing if there's any tweaks to the rotation, if there would be any, but it seems as if he's probably just going to keep it the way it is, which I'm fine with. Besides, I mean, it really just depends for me. Like, if tonight we're winning and we have a big lead and he takes Cade Anderson out and throws Cowan, it's going to be the same thing as last week to me, where I'm just like, why would we put him there where we don't need him there? But I don't know. I'm pretty happy with where the team's at. So I don't have anything that I know there's worries about the bullpen, but the sky's not falling to me. So I'm
now, if you lose this weekend,
yes,
then it would be falling.
It's a conversation
if you lose
for sure.
2 or 3, but
Yeah.
no, not right now.
Yeah.
One interesting note here that Chad's pointing out is State's going to be saving their ace Pico Cone for Friday night. So
Sierra's starting tonight.
Yeah, Sierra, who doesn't have a ton of innings on the year, 11 2/3. Been good in the 11 2/3, 15 Ks, 3 walks, 2.31 ERA, but no wins or losses on the record as of yet. So maybe kind of conceding, not conceding the game necessarily, but recognizing that their best chance to maybe get a win lies in throwing the lefty Pico tomorrow night, and him going toe-to-toe with Ayenson. Pico Cone 4-0 on the year, 2.52 ERA. He's got 53 Ks to only 7 walks in 35 2/3 inning pitch. So Pico's having a very good year thus far, and I kind of love that and really challenging Ayenson to match his output and see what happens on Friday.
Yeah, I'm curious if he has a longer leash than he did last weekend.
I mean, would you think it would be longer with Pico on the other side, or would it be shorter, given that runs may be at a premium Friday night?
I think you have to let him go. We've seen him work himself out of these jams. You have to let him do it.
Also, that goes back to not throwing Cowan on Friday night, because if you're conceding Friday, like we actually talked about this yesterday, so many people saying you have to win game 1. No, you don't. You have to win the series. Texas could not possibly care less that they lost on Friday because they took the series. Clearly, that's Mississippi State's strategy here. They don't think they can go toe-to-toe with Cade Anderson. Let's say LSU wins tonight. Let's say Cade Anderson goes 6 innings. You're up 4 runs. Find you somebody that can get you 9 outs. Maverick Rizzi's been a solid arm out of the bullpen. He's a guy that I think needs more run. If you've struggled with the lefty and Cade Anderson, DJ Primo's been good out of the bullpen as a lefty. You don't have to go to Zach Cowan. Save Cowan maybe for Saturday or Sunday like we were talking about, because you kind of burned him on a game that you almost already had into the bag. And then on the flip side of things, you didn't throw Kason Evans last weekend until you had a 5-run deficit with 4 innings to play. I mean, the bullpen was mismanaged last weekend. Let's kind of tinker with that more than anything. I don't care about starter and all that. I want to see relievers used in the right spots.
Yeah, and then Saturday it's going to be Chase Shores versus Carson Ligon. He's 2-3 on the year, 4.76 ERA, 22 1/3 pitch, 32 Ks, 9 walks. Really similar numbers for Shores and Carson. So offense probably going to be the way to win game number 3. But we'll see. It starts tonight in the box. Love a Thursday night start. Get out there, get crazy, make it hard on him. And let's enjoy some LSU baseball. More OTB coming up next.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Central Plumbing, there for you when you need them, and have been so there for nearly 50 years, guys. And they've been with this show really since its inception. The only people that can say that. Shout out to Jay Payne and the entire Payne family. Ironically named, as it is a very painless process when you work with Central Plumbing. They got 24/7 emergency service, flat rate pricing, excellent warranty. Once the work is done, go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, when you go to the website, you'll see what they can do for you in the remodel game. If you're looking to upgrade your home, if you're looking to upgrade your business, they can certainly come in and help. You can go tankless today with a tankless water heater that we always talk about. You get home late from the ball field, you still got to do laundry, you got to do dishes, you got to shower up. Well, that is okay if you have that tankless water heater, because you're, again, never going to run out of hot water. Give them a call, 24/7 emergency service, 225-925-8552.
At Auctioner, We know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. So LSU Pro Day was yesterday, and some guys seem to have some really good days, maybe nobody more so than tight end Mason Taylor, who comes out with a 4.65 40, 4.52 short shuttle, 7.06 cone, 28 reps on the bench. That is very strong for a tight end. And word on the scene, he came in at 6'5", 246, nearly 10-inch hands. Here's a cat that, based on his measurements combined with his film, may have potentially worked himself into a second-round guy. Jake, he's now firmly in that second-round conversation. How much do you think Mason Taylor helped himself yesterday?
Oh, I think a ton. And there were some scouts that had him easily in the 4.5s, which was crazy. Like, there was multiple I heard talking that had him in the 4.5s. And so even the 4.65 would have been great for his size and certainly the strength that he showed on the bench press. But I think he was even faster than that. He looked great. The 28 reps is huge because I think that was a question for him. Like, could he, be strong enough to be an inline blocker? That answers that question. So I think he made himself a lot of money yesterday. I think he was a top 100 player for sure. He might be top 55 player now after what he did yesterday. This is a really good tight end class. And when we have Rhett Lewis, NFL Network, going to join us in hour number 3, we can ask him about it because you're probably going to have 2 first-rounders at tight end. I think he's now the 3rd. And so if you need a tight end, you didn't get one of your first-rounders, he's going to be your second-round pick. So I now would be completely surprised if he's not a second-round pick.
One of the other guys that I thought had a great day and looked the part was Josh Williams. Yeah. I mean, my guy looked jacked.
I looked like an Avenger out there yesterday.
With a capital J, straight superhero body. And he comes out with a 4.45 40, jumps 42 inches on the vert. He benches 23.
Yeah.
I mean, at 5'9", 200 pounds, benching 23. Josh Williams, I mean, give me the video of him running his 40 yesterday, Taylor, if you really want to show the people just how impressive he looked yesterday. A massive day for Williams. I don't quite know exactly what his draft outlook is, but if I'm somebody, I don't know about getting drafted, but here's a guy who, has all the intangibles, right? The coaches are all going to be bragging on him as well as all the staff. That's why I got number 18, everything else. He knows mentally he can handle it from a pass blocking standpoint, everything else, leadership, got it. Like, Josh Williams is going to make an NFL team and be a contributor on special teams and potentially a running back for somebody in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, when we would talk about him, there was a lot of people that said, he's not athletic, he's not this, he's not that.
Yeah, that's what I always kind of thought too.
Well, he shut everybody up yesterday.
Yeah.
To be able to go out there. I mean, 42-inch vertical?
That's crazy.
Are you kidding me? That would have been, I think I saw a stat that would have been like 3rd all time for like running backs or something crazy.
All time, 2nd this year. I did not see who beat him at running backs.
What would have been 42? Would have been 3rd all time?
3rd all time.
3rd all time, 2nd this year.
Yeah, and then to run a 4.4, to bench press 23 reps, that's what I got, and I was like 222 or something. So at 200 pounds to get 23 reps, that's a hell of a day for him.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what it was maybe before, and maybe it was just going to be an undrafted free agent rookie because he played at LSU for so long. Certainly he was going to get an opportunity. But even if he doesn't get drafted, he's going to be a priority free agent.
Yes, now he will. After what he just did, absolutely.
And he's going to, you said it, he's going to have a great opportunity to make a squad and make a team. And he's going to do all the little things right. And, man, he was so impressive. And you're right. Like, he looked different.
I mean, he looked different. Again, the video I saw specifically was one that LSU,
towards the camera.
Yeah, where LSU football put it out. And like Jake said, it looked like a comic book. I thought Garrett Dellinger, 32-inch vert?
Yeah.
For Delly? Are you kidding me?
And he had some Timberlands on basically, too.
I mean, a 5.10 40, like 30 on the bench, 9.2 broad. That's a really good amount of athleticism shown by Garrett Dellinger.
Yeah, I think so as well. He's played a lot of football. He's gone through some injuries, but that's another guy. Like, when he was in there, he played well. And when you didn't have him, you felt it. You felt that his presence was not there.
Yeah, so here's the look at that, dude. There's the video of Josh Williams. My God, that body's insane. All right, Taylor, look at the Will Campbell audio there. Get that Twitter link ready to go. Will Campbell not doing anything yesterday, but meeting with the media and was asked about his arms. Now, Jordan Schultz tweeted out a major development at LSU Pro Day consists All-American Will Campbell, arms measured at 33 inches, checking off a crucial box for NFL executives and talent evaluators. Cam Jordan quote tweeted this, said, "Can he play ball? Film says yes. Draft status should be reflective of gameplay and resume put on it." So Cam Jordan speaking some sense into the equation. But here's what Will Campbell had to say about people saying that his arms were too short to be a tackle in the NFL.
You as a prospect? For 2 years, nobody had any measurements on me, and nobody said anything about my play. So now all of a sudden, an arm length decides if I'm a good player or not. I think it's BS. But, any decision makers in the NFL, they don't really care. It's all, people who don't coach, and they don't coach for a reason.
I can listen to that man talk all day long.
I'd actually like to hear him say the full BS.
Me
because
too.
it would have been long and drawn out and great.
Look, and yes, man, don't overthink the Campbell thing. I mean, Brian Baldinger had a great film breakdown of him today, and he's so right. For Campbell, he has good hands, don't get me wrong, but it's all about his feet. Everything works because of his feet. He's got incredible knee bend, incredible natural footwork that always has him in the right position. He's able to time his punches well. The word that I've always come back to when talking about how Will Campbell pass blocks is composure. And the reason why he looks so composed is because of his feet. And granted, look, his arm length is fine, but it shouldn't have mattered that much in the first place. So a great LSU Pro Day in which some of your favorite guys help themselves. All right, let's go ahead and close up hour number 1 of Off the Bench next.
Off the Bench.
Guys, we have a brand new sponsor here on the show. We absolutely love them. That is Cool Pro HVAC, okay? You want your system worked on. Make sure that you are going to avoid any major catastrophic issues down the road. Go with the local guys at Cool Pro HVAC. Explore the Pro plan, okay? It's $99 a year. So no monthly fees or anything like that. And what this does is it stays ahead of any HVAC issues. They stay on top of it for you. You get live monitoring, priority scheduling, and 1-hour service windows. And remember, if you do have a big fix, we have very flexible financing options available to make those services more accessible and affordable. With 24/7 emergency support, where would you go anywhere else? Go to coolprohvac.com.
225-350-4397. Like T-Bob said, 1-hour windows. You can track your technician exactly where he's at. You're not waiting at home all day. coolprohvac.com.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them.
Welcome to the 7th ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. So did y'all see the NFL's proposing another tweak to the kickoff rule? Which they're trying to make permanent, the 35-yard line or whatever.
Yeah, that's too far. That's too egregious there.
I mean, I don't know. You know,
35.
Well, I'm saying if you want it to be returned, but if you don't, then yeah, don't change it. Did y'all see Gary Danielson? Did y'all talk about that?
We did not.
Gary Danielson retiring after the 2025 season, man.
Why wait?
End of an era.
Man. But seriously, like, is there something? I'm not like taking a shot at him. Like,
yes, you were.
Does
but
he just
continue.
want one final season? Like, is that?
I hate when people do what you just did, feigning innocence as you know exactly
he's just
what you just did.
He's announcing.
I'm not taking a shot.
No, like seriously, like you're announcing you're retiring, but like you're not. You're retiring in a year from now. I was just wondering if there's like a specific thing. Like, why is he waiting a year?
Jim Nantz just announced that the 100 Masters in like 2036 is going to be his last one or something.
I just hope to make it that long, Jim.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like the 100th is kind of like a milestone. Like, is there like one thing Gary's like waiting on? I guess is my thing.
I mean, do you like fault like when you see these long time like who's gone on retirement tours recently?
Oh, a lot of people have done it for
in
sure.
athletics.
I'm not saying Gary's the only one. I was just wondering.
I mean, Jeter went on one, Chipper Jones went on one. Like, that's not recent, but that's one.
Yeah, but like it's it's what you do when you're a legend forever.
Yeah,
and you say, look, this is gonna be my last year, and so everybody knows that when they get to interact with you that year, that it may be your last time doing this. So I think that's why you do it. I think it makes sense. Anyway, I love Gary Danielson. I think it's crazy the amount of hate this man gets, and I think he's great at his job. I think when it comes to breaking down football live and what just happened, he's actually very good at clearly explaining the dynamics of play and what's going on. I think people think, I think it's interesting that most people think that he just gargles Alabama all the time, but then Alabama fans hate him, thinking that, all he does is not gargle them. Like, to me, if everybody hates you, then I think that means you're doing a pretty good job of keeping it real and keeping it objective. I do think what's maybe interesting about him is there does seem to be the sentiment that no matter whether or not you actually like him or think he's good, you're still going to miss him simply because nostalgically what he has meant to your life as a college football fan.
Yeah, like growing up, I was one of those guys who'd be like, Gary hates my team. But like to your point, like the last few years when he's called less and less LSU games, I'm like, it just feels different. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel
I missed SEC on CBS this last year. Did y'all not?
Yeah, no, the intro music.
Yeah, I definitely did.
I still miss when Vern and Gary were together. I mean, that was a great combo.
Yeah, Brad's great, but Uncle Vern and Gary will always be my my premier. Oh, wait, where was the comment that I wanted to do? Oh, if his job is to be on his knees for Bama, then yes, he's great at his job. So, but here's the problem. The majority of the time that he worked was when Nick Saban was at Alabama and they were stacking national championships. So if you're talking objectively about the game and you're going to give credit for who is doing well, of course it's going to come off like you're obsessed with Alabama because Alabama's consistently doing well and consistently dominating in the Gary Danielson era. And they're playing the most games on CBS. So, like, don't be mad at Gary. He's just doing his job. Be mad at Alabama for being so good.
What broadcaster?
I love Gary.
What broadcaster doesn't do that?
What's that?
Like, what broadcaster doesn't do that? You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. If somebody's doing good, you're supposed to praise them.
Did that.
You can't just act like they suck. I think that's crazy. And yeah, I think the SEC is worse off for not having that SEC on CBS crew or game anymore. And it just doesn't hit the same with the Big Ten. I think even Gary and Brad missed it being in the SEC versus being in the Big Ten.
I mean, so much he's quitting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, for real though, right? Like, I do wonder in an alternate reality if we could somehow see, would he stick around if they still had the SEC contract? Part of me feels like he probably would. God, I used to love an Uncle Vern Golden Nugget. You know, he'd always give you such interesting little factoids. Uncle Vern's chortle as well. It's impossible to hear that and not get a rush of nostalgia. The frisson. Anyway, I love you, Gary. Hell of a career.
We'll close out with.
Oh. I can feel the anxiety in my stomach that has when you hear this, because you know something big's about to take place. Over the next 4 hours, you're going to be on an emotional roller coaster. Hour 2 next.
Off the bench.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Favorite since 1981. They've been here through every season, serving our community with pride. Still family owned and operated, they're more than just a store. They're a part of your life. Whether it's football, baseball, or any sport in between, they've got you covered. Any season, for any reason. Red Stick Sports is there for you. Swing by today and keep the spirit alive. Red Stick Sports, where every game begins. 5770 Essen Lane.
Hey, it's Hunt. Come see me at M&L Industries off I-10 and Segan Saturday, April 5th from 8 to 10 a.m. for Kubota Orange Days. You can enjoy food, fun, test drives, and exclusive Orange Days discounts on Kubota equipment. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Thursday, March 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 80 in hour 2 of today's show. LSU softball coach Beth Tarina hops on at 8 a.m. We'll talk a little New Orleans Saints, and we'll have an NFL story of the day. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, 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 yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It is hour 2 here on a Thursday, and we are very lucky at 8 a.m. every Thursday to be joined by LSU softball head coach Beth Tarina. Another massive series coming up this weekend against the South Carolina Gamecocks, a top 10 series once again. But before we get there, it's also a big weekend for a great cause, the Go Teal Walk taking place this weekend. You go to GEAUXTeal.com. It's going to be at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. You can go to the website and you can click the registration link. It's all very easy, and it helps raise money and spread awareness in the battle against ovarian cancer. So, unfortunately, many of us know one person or another in our lives that has been touched by this. And this is a great event that LSU's had going on for many, many years, and it's going down this Saturday. If you want to be a part of the walk, GEAUXTeal.com. You can also donate right there on the website as well. Coach Tarina, what's going on? How are we doing today?
You did so good on all of that.
Oh,
I'm so
thank you.
impressed with you. It's like you do this for your job. My
Yeah.
gosh, I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
you had all the information for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And you read it.
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
I mean, honestly, I would give the credit to your web designer, because the website's very easy to navigate in terms of like what it is, how to sign up. And so everybody listening, GEAUXTeal.com. And again, you also get to get out to Tiger Park and walk on the field, which is very cool. And again, it's going to be a massive week in Tiger Park as LSU hits the road last Saturday, takes 2 of 3 against Georgia, and then has a beautiful midweek win over UL before now hosting South Carolina. What's going on, though, Coach? Anything to add on the Teal Walk before we get into the softball itself?
I just think it's a cool day for SEC softball. The whole SEC will be teal. All 15 teams will be in teal on Saturday. So you can check everybody out on, ESPN, SEC Network, all of the platforms. Everybody will be in teal. So a big day. And then, of course, I just like going over the symptoms. Like, women have to be their own advocate for the seal. There is no test. So if you have symptoms, cramping, back pain, feeling full, bloating, things that last longer than they should, you need to take that to your doctor, be your own advocate. And for the guys listening, it's not just for you to kind of pass it off. This is like for you to remind your wives and sisters and mothers and friends that they need to take care of themselves too.
So an incredible cause, guys, and if you can, go be a part of it this weekend. Coach, I want to ask you about what was going on in your head third inning in the midweek this week against UL, right? Because you had the great series against Georgia. You get 2 wins. the series ends on a loss, but still a positive weekend overall. Anytime you hit the road in the SEC and you take a series, that's a big win. But so it ends in a loss, and then third inning, UL jumps out to a 4-0 lead. And at that point, those are kind of some testy waters. What does it say about your team that immediately, top of the fourth, they come back, put up a 6 spot, end up pushing that game out of reach, and just kind of, resettle? They sweep the season series, but just regain all the momentum that you've had all year long.
Yeah, I don't think any of us ever felt like we were out of it. I think everyone has so much confidence in our offense and what they've done all year and their ability to score. So maybe just a little quick wake up. We were on the road, then back on the road, moving a little slow to get it started maybe, and a little punch in the mouth. Nothing like a little punch in the mouth to get you going, get you woke up in the morning,
Yeah.
But I think the way our offense has been swinging and producing runs, everybody felt confident.
Coach, you only have 2 losses on the season, but to see your team with both those losses bounce back and then get right back into it, I mean, you lose to Cal State, then you come back and you blank Utah, and then you have a performance like this. Like, I know you appreciate the way your team bounces back as well, because there's not been a lot of adversity this year, but when there has been adversity, they've kind of, gone back and got back on track right after that in the next game.
Yeah, they've really answered the call. Anytime they've gone down, they've been able to answer it in game. I think the Kentucky game, the middle game, the lead changed, 3 or 4 times every time they were able to answer back. So the fact that they're able to answer it, I mean, they set out to be tough this year. They set some parameters of what that looks like, and they measure it, and they're trying to be the toughest team in the country. And I think moments like that is where they show their toughness.
What were the biggest takeaways from last weekend in terms of, you mentioned toughness? I mean, certainly Friday night, the thriller there with the 7th inning win, 5-3, really taking care of business the next day after that. What was the biggest element that you learned about your team in the series win over Georgia?
Yeah, I'll tell you, we hadn't felt like that yet. Like a road series in the SEC is tough to compare. We had been in friendly Tiger Park and tournament play, and we hadn't felt uncomfortable like that yet. Like, their crowd did a good job, and just being in a different stadium and all the factors, like, I think it was good for especially our young players. Some of them, that was their first SEC series, 9 newcomers to this program this year. So I think it was good for us, and it was uncomfortable, and we weathered the storm in that game.
Now you get to come back home, as you mentioned there, but as we talk about every single week when we have you on, Coach, you've got a team with a number next to their name, because that's what it is in SEC softball. This time it's going to be South Carolina, number 10 team in the country. What have you seen so far from them on tape?
Well, it's a new coaching staff, and it's virtually an entirely new team. Like, as we were going through the scout, I mean, there's one name that is familiar to us on this team since we played them last time. So it is an entirely new team. A lot of transfers, new arms, and they are pretty traditional softball. They swing it pretty well. They have 3 good arms. So, we'll see how that plays in Tiger Park. But, I think it'll be a good matchup. They've done a really nice job, this coaching staff, in their first year. They've done a really nice job of just maximizing what they have with this team. And they've earned their way to the top, which is kind of cool. Like, they started unranked, and they've earned their way to this ranking, so they've played well.
Well, and Coach, statistically right now, your team is dominant. I mean, all categories on the mound, offensively, defensively, ranking near the top of the SEC, top of the country in a lot of cases. What is the pitching plan for this weekend?
On our side, you mean?
Yes.
I think we'll just continue to attack them with our best arms. I don't think any of us pitched as well as we could have against Georgia. I think everybody had moments they would like back, and we've worked hard this week to try to clean some things up. I thought Jaden Hebner was really good on Tuesday night against ULL. I thought she did a really good job there, attacked the zone, in a tough zone there too on Tuesday. So I think that was good for her to kind of bounce back from that. And then Sydney is Sydney, man. If we run 29 out there, you know we got a chance to win a ball game, right?
Yeah, Burzon's incredible. Hey, what did you think about the now this is not LSU, but it was a softball record. What was your reaction to the 78-mile-an-hour pitch that we witnessed last week, equivalent of 110 on the mound from the men's side?
This was a big talk at practice yesterday, And some of the girls just think like it's the coolest thing ever, right? Like just cool for our sport. Like they're like, man, hats off. That's legit. She threw 78. Why are we knocking it? Why are we saying bad stuff about it? Like it's 78 miles an hour. So I think our team was pretty impressed by it. And it's somebody they're really familiar with. You know, I think they faced her 3 times last year. We played Tennessee in the SEC tournament too. So somebody they're familiar with. So I think it's cool for them to see that too. But it's incredible how our sport's growing and how these athletes just continue to get better and better.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, Coach. I mean, you're obviously familiar with being on the mound in the SEC. What was your best miles per hour, and how much has that grown over the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, you know, you could probably just catch mine barehanded and just flip it on back, you know. So we don't have to go there. That was a long time ago, you know. I think the mound was further back then or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it is insane. It's baseball, it's softball. The skill of these athletes, the power they're able to generate. I just have no idea how it's even physically possible to do that with that motion. But if anybody can hit it, though, Coach, it's your team. 8 starters hitting 330 or better, 5 hitting over 400. Of course, Danica Coffey leading the way, 4th in the country with a 633 on base percentage. Normally, I know we approach things from the kind of mound with you, but what's been the key to such offensive success throughout the top of the lineup, or throughout the entire lineup this year?
I think the energy around our offense is just awesome. And Bryce and Sandra and Zach, they've all done such a good job of just preparing our team. And I think like the big thing too is they're utilizing our strengths. You know, they've like relabeled some categories. They're trying to earn some different things within the game, you know, and just really try to capitalize on the things that we do well. And it's really cool to see, you know, the talk yesterday was like, we scored 11 runs on Tuesday, and I think Danica was 0 for 4. Like, it's pretty cool that, like, it's not about any one person. You know, a lot of times it feels like, oh my gosh, Danica's not on base, but like we scored 11 without Danica. And then, you know, same thing Saturday at Georgia. I mean, Jayla Laster, 4 for 4 with a grand slam. Like, I just think it can be anybody's day, any day we play, which is a really cool thing about this offense. We're not just dependent on any one person. It's really an overall team offensive concept.
Again, guys, get out to Tiger Park this weekend. I think we're going a little Saturday night berm action. Cannot wait. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. LSU, South Carolina, top 10 matchup. And Saturday morning, the Go Teal Walk, 9:30 a.m. Go sign up. Been doing this all the way since 2013. And it's you know, there's been some crazy years. Back in 2019, over 1,000 walkers. Let's try to beat that number this weekend and help in the fight against ovarian cancer, raising awareness. Go to GEAUXTeal.com. That's GEAUXTeal.com. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today.
You guys are the best. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, have Coach. A kick-ass this weekend. Have an excellent day. I know it's very busy. Thank you for making time for us. The Teal Walk, though, very, very, very great time. Very cool event. And, you can be a part of it.
Yeah, and I fumbled the bag. I had us Go Teal shirts to wear today. Forgot those. So hopefully tomorrow I can remember the Go Teal shirts.
Oh, I've been sweating through those as well.
But it would have brought attention. More attention. I'm like, what's the sweat marks? Oh, it's Go Teal.
Yeah, true.
You know, it's on me.
All right, well, let's go to break, and when we get back, more OTB.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, go to Boudreaux's Electrical. Boudreaux'sElectrical.com is a website. If you want more power and more protection, you want to get that Generac home generator from one of the premier Generac dealers in all of Louisiana. That is Boudreaux's. Been family owned and operated since 1982, guys, so over 40 years. Now, and their philosophy, the reason why they've grown so much and stood the test of time is because it is a customer-first business. And I do not say that lightly. Everybody is treated like a VIP at Boudreaux's. They go out of their way to make sure that your system's ready to go when you need it, because that's the point, right? Remember, we got great financing options available, so protect your home, protect your family, keep the lights under in storm season. Go to Boudreaux'sElectrical.com.
Yeah, look at the reviews. On Google, they've got 90 reviews. Remember when we started doing this with Boudreaux's, it was like 35. It's already up to 90 Google reviews, 5 stars across the board. No 4s, all 5s. BoudreauxElectrical.com.
Experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
G's up, you know how we do this. I'm the kind of brother who's been doing it my way, getting my way for years. In my career, and every lover,
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, and Taylor hanging out with you today. So one of the more recent mock drafts concerning your New Orleans Saints actually had them taking Mason Taylor in the 3rd round of said mock draft. It started round 1 with Marshall Edge, Mike Green, which, again, no fault to Green, but if you want a workout that would, or if you want a pick that would absolutely trigger Saints fans, look no further than going with a small school pass rusher with a high relative athletic score. Only 8.5-inch hands though. Mike Green.
What?
So yeah, we love to see that, dude.
8.5?
8.5. That's right, baby. We
Is
love
that-
to see that.
Oh my
A
god.
9-inch king. Then it has him go with East Carolina cornerback Siobhan Revel. I guess here's the deal. Mason Taylor, though, in this going 3rd round, absolutely the Saints would be interested in Taylor. Although you have Foster and you signed Juwan Johnson to that big deal. I think, though, or do we think that Taylor helped himself enough yesterday where he's not going to be around at pick 71?
I thought you were going to ask, if he would be there. He's not going to be there. Yeah, he's He ain't gonna be there. He's not gonna be there at 71. The production from the moment he stepped on the campus until he played his final game for LSU, all-time leader in like every category for tight ends, and then he did what he did yesterday. He's a top 55 pick for me. So I don't think there's any way he gets to 71. He's going to impress, and probably already has in draft meetings as well. High football IQ.
Yeah,
he's not lasting until 71.
Now, another name that's been making the rounds in Saint circles, the Shedeur Sanders stuff seems to continue to percolate, as it appears now that the Giants will not be selecting a quarterback. The Browns, I think the Browns are the latest that they're leaning towards Abdul Carter as well. So Shedeur could be there at 9. We talked to Nick Underhill about this, and he pretty much shut down the idea outright, which that makes sense. But what about Quinn Ewers? The Saints and Quinn Ewers set to have dinner on Monday. And what is Ewers' current draft grade? When is it thought that Quinn Ewers is going to be off the board?
I'm seeing like late 4th, maybe even 5th round.
And so I guess that begs the question, do the New Orleans Saints explore that? I mean, the same way you did with Spencer Rattler last season.
Yeah.
Here you have a guy that was a massive recruit coming out of high school, somebody who had a lot of success on the college level. Maybe not quite as much as some people wanted, but look, man, when he was on at Texas, he looked really good. Like, you look at that Michigan game last season. Obviously, the Arizona State game wasn't good for the majority of it, but when you had to have it at the end, Ewers making some pretty massive plays. Would you be down for the Saints? Like, what's the highest that you would want the Saints to go to get Quinn Ewers?
I mean, I don't think 3rd round's crazy. Certainly not in the 4th round. He's a borderline top 100 player in this draft. I think ESPN actually has him like 112. So he's right there on the edge of that. When Quinn Ewers is locked into and it looks like he cares, man, he can spin it as well as anybody. Like, he can make all the throws. I've covered like 4 or 5 Texas games in person over the last 2 years, and he'll make you go, not many guys can do that. Not many guys can fit it in that window. The problem is, and you've heard me say this 100 times, for whatever reason, there's like once or twice every game he forgets every rule that he's ever learned. He's like, I'm going to throw that ball.
Yeah.
There's a squatted corner in cover 2, and I'm going to throw the hitch.
Yeah.
And he predetermines it, or he thinks because he's got such a great arm that he can do things like that, and it gets him in trouble so many times. And so there is a lot of good when you watch his tape, more than any like 4th round quarterback you're going to watch. The problem is he short circuits every single game for a handful of plays.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy too. He throws with a touch that is nearly unparalleled. Like like Jake's saying, when it is on and he's making the correct decisions, his throws are ASMR levels of buttery smooth. Like, I can feel them in my molars. That said, I would not expect I would not have a ton of expectation if you were to draft Quinn Ewers, just like I don't have a ton of expectation for Spencer Rattler. It would very much be a flyer. Like, maybe you get a guy, because we got to remember that, quite frankly, there just aren't that many late round quarterbacks that end up being a legitimate starter in the NFL. Right? Have we done this exercise before? Like, if you look at the top 12 guys right now, I mean, certainly Dak is probably the highest paid of those kind of mid to later picks. Yeah. Brock Purdy would be another one that jumps to mind, but almost everybody else is 1st round?
Yeah, I just off Jalen Hurts 2nd round, right?
Okay. Yep. He would be probably the best in terms of not being in the 1st round. So just approach the Quinn Ewers thing with that context in mind, right? Like, good to take a flyer. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe you get a guy. That'd be awesome. But don't put too much expectation on it. One thing I'll say, though, Jake, I love I don't know if I want to offer an I love or not, because it probably is. I don't know if I would have done the same thing. But I think it's worth pointing out the maturity of Quinn Ewers, because the opposite was pointed out. for much of his career.
Mm-hmm.
He was the number one player in the country coming out of high school. He reclassifies, and he goes up to Ohio State because they could do NIL payments when Texas could not. So he started his career by doing everything he could to chase the bag, right? Then he ends up back at Texas, and he ends up working his way to be the starter. And despite the fact that he leads Texas to 2 good years, including back-to-back playoff appearances, Texas wants him gone at the end of this last season.
Yeah.
Said, hey, Quinn, thanks, but we're done with you. And he had a market in college football. Like the rumors are, he had anywhere from $4 to $6 million offers on the table to do exactly what Carson Beck did and go be a quarterback for 1 year somewhere else. But Quinn, over time, citing his own personal growth, said, look, that's not really what motivates me, the money. And I feel like I am Texas through and through. And I don't want to ruin that reputation by going to play for someone else. And so now he's going to go to the NFL, and he'll probably make less over the entirety of his contract than he would have made in just one more year of college football. And you can say that's dumb, you can say whatever, but again, I'm not disagreeing, but I think it's worth highlighting the character growth there from Ewers in terms of what motivates him and what he values. And in this more cynical age of college football, it's nice to see someone who still just really cares about the school itself that he's been a part of.
No, it's a great breakdown because you're right. Like, he came into college and he had the haircut and he was the number one guy. He was one of the highest rated recruits we had ever seen. And you really, honestly, never heard any good stories about him. Like, right, wrong, or indifferent. And we didn't know those stories. We weren't there in Columbus, but there wasn't a lot of good. And then he goes to Texas, and certainly within the last year and a half has matured himself. Even how he handled the Arch Manning stuff, I thought was really well done.
Cool, just never,
Like, even covering that Sugar Bowl 2 years ago when Arch, first time he gets to talk to the media and everybody's there, that picture came out. Now, it wasn't the true story because Quinn had already gone. The media had already talked to him. I was like 5 feet from there. And then Arch, it was the first time he got a chance to talk. It's Arch's hometown, so a little misleading, but still, once that picture came out, he didn't cry about it, didn't complain about it. He went about his business, had a good game against Washington. And then within this year, kind of the same thing. You're hearing Arch Manning stuff, and he led his team to, a place back-to-back years that Texas hasn't been in a very long time. And you're right. Like, he definitely would have made more coming back to college.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably going to have a contract that's like 4 years, $4 million.
Yeah.
In the NFL, like if he gets drafted where we think he's going to. But, he challenged himself, thinks he's ready to go, and didn't chase the bag this time and chase his dream.
Yeah, and it's at a time when, look at the relationship between Carson Beck and Georgia. Here's a guy who you would have thought that these two sides. Remember, Georgia fans were obsessed with Carson Beck at first, right? He waited his turn. In the age of the transfer portal, he was patient, and he bided his time, and then eventually he took over the starting job. And yet, now, there is no relationship. In fact, they kind of hate him. Did you see Gunnar Stockton talking about Beck?
Yeah.
When they asked, did Carson tell you he was leaving? He kind of hit this smirk and was like, he was busy. You have Kirby Smart in the run-up to the playoff game talking about how the guys play harder for Gunnar. So in this age of NIL, again, it's easy to become cynical, and it's easy to kind of lose sight of what motivates you. And Quinn Ewers did not do that. And so if the Saints do end up taking a flyer on Quinn Ewers, I score him now much higher in the intangibles department and leadership than I maybe would have previously. Again, I don't have a lot of expectation, just like I don't for Spencer Rattler. But, you throw enough of these guys against the wall and maybe you end up finding an answer somewhere therein.
I will say this, and last thing on Quinn Ewers, arm talent-wise and the ability to make the throws that you have to make to play in the NFL, I think he would have the best arm talent in the Saints quarterback room, including Derek Carr.
Yeah, probably
now that's
so.
not the only thing you have to have to be successful
gonna,
in the NFL, but you mentioned it. When he is throwing down the sideline to Matthew Golden and he drops it in a bucket, and you've heard me say this, He looked like he ran down there and placed it in his lap.
Yeah.
And he makes throws every game that I've ever covered him that nobody else in the building can make, including Arch Manning, I think. Now, that's not to say Arch won't be a better quarterback, but as far as what he can do, we forget he was a perfect recruit. Like, he was one of the top 3 guys ever when he was getting evaluated. You still see that a ton in his tape.
So maybe the New Orleans Saints with a Texas quarterback in their future. We will see. Coming up next here on OTB, keep it locked. You have great more show play for you. Coming up next. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. That's the website where you can search the inventory on the airline by keyword, make and model, by price. Or look, man, you can just go see them and test drive whatever you want and start to meet the staff, the sales staff. If you need a body shop or a service center, you go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. All makes and models are welcome. You mention OTB, you get $250 towards that deductible. You get rapid turnaround times, excellent lines of communication, free professional estimates. Go to All-Star Toyota, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yep, go to the website today, buying new, leasing, and renting. We tell you every single day because it is factual. Everything is available. So no matter if you need to buy something new, if you're looking to lease, or if you're looking for something for a couple of days, or maybe it's a week in the rental department, every single vehicle is available over at All-Star. Call Miss Lisa Sessions today in the rental department, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Balloons are deflating.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
Welcome back, OTB 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. T-Bob, I just found something. I don't know if my phone heard us talking about MLB payrolls. How about this? One more Dodgers fact.
Yeah, that is the story.
Yeah, $370 million. The AL Central, so Cleveland, Detroit, the White Sox, Minnesota, Kansas City, the combined all 5 teams' payroll is $540 million. And the Dodgers is $370 million.
Again, it is unprecedented. Wow. It is unprecedented. And I want to be clear, while, outside looking in, I'd be angry. I'd be like, oh, this is unfair or whatever. If I'm a Dodgers fan, I could not be more happy with ownership. Right? I mean, that is ownership clearly telling you, look, we are reinvesting our profits into the team.
True.
And we're doing everything they can to bring you the best product that we can every single day. So again, they are the bad guys. Make no mistake about that. They will be treated as such the entire year. But if I were a Dodgers fan, I would be over the moon right now. Also, shout out Mookie Betts. He had a weird stomach thing going on where apparently he couldn't eat food for like 2 weeks. Did y'all see this? He was throwing up everything. He lost over 20 pounds. It started right before the Tokyo trip. But they finally figured out, doctors couldn't figure it out, they finally figured out he can eat food again. So Mookie, that's why he didn't play in the Tokyo games. He straight up, he went from 175 to like 150. Just couldn't eat food.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
It's like free Ozempic.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So shout out Mookie. Glad he's all right. Jake, we got another pick and roll today because I need some winners, baby.
Yes, I do have to put together.
Tell me them.
No, I don't.
Let me hop on.
Ooh, I don't have them yet because games aren't until later tonight.
Jake's gonna have to tell you fake ones, and then the real pick and roll is gonna be different.
I don't have to have them as early as we did when games were at 11 a.m. Trying to put some of this together now. I got some great matchups though, as you should in the Sweet 16. A lot of styles that differ from each other, so that's always exciting. Which style's going to kind of win out there? So I'll have those probably by the end of the show.
Michigan State, Ole Miss. Who wins?
Michigan State.
Yeah.
Michigan State still plus 2,200 to win a national championship. They went on an absolute roll to end the season. They didn't win the Big Ten tournament, but if you look at the games leading into the Big Ten tournament, and they did win the regular season in the Big Ten, that's crazy value for them. Consider like other teams like a Duke and a Florida are like plus 300, plus 375 right now, plus 2,200. Tom Izzo, Michigan State. I don't know. I mean, we see Mo Pete and Mateen Cleaves.
That's right, baby.
And all the fellas in the stands for all these games as well.
Then again, Chris Beard, what was the stat? Chris Fallick of the Bear had an interesting number the other day about whatever. I guess that Chris Beard has created Sweet 16 upsets as an underdog in the almost exact same situation that he's in with Ole Miss right now. He's done it twice before, so maybe Beard can make it a third time. Florida, Maryland, who y'all like?
I like Florida. I picked them to win a national championship, but the Crab Five is really talented.
The Crab Five?
Yeah, it's a name.
That's
you know the Fab Five from Michigan?
Yeah,
the Crab Five from Maryland.
Oh, man.
They play five.
I do love Maryland Crab.
They play
Boils.
5 players.
Crab Feast.
They don't – there's no bench.
Damn.
There is no bench. They play 5 players. They're incredibly talented, and that's who they roll with. So if I'm Florida, like my thought is I'm going to make you guard me, and I'm going to try to get somebody in foul trouble. So you have to play your bench.
Yeah.
So also, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna pick up the tempo in this game, tire those guys out.
That's what Florida. I mean, Florida scores points. We know that, but Maryland is going to ride or die with their 5. Now it's as talented as anybody. Like it's just the problem is you don't have a 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
But if you just look at who they have 1 through 5, great recruiting class. They brought some guys in. It's talented. If I'm Florida, though, like Taylor said, I'm running you. I'm going to make you foul me. I'm going to get you in trouble. I'm going to get you off your game. I still think Florida's the best team in the country, but it's going to be a challenge.
Auburn, Michigan. I mean, obviously, right? Like Auburn, the pick here. They've been they ended up as the number 1 overall seed, huh? even with the late season losses, or no? Did Duke end up?
I think Duke's is the number 1 overall, right?
I thought Auburn did get it.
I think Auburn's still into it. Broom, probably the key to the win, as he always do. I just love that Michigan has 2 7-footers.
Yeah, they do.
Named Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden. I mean, these guys are straight out of Central Casting for just some giant goons.
Yeah, Vlad Golden was really good for FAU in their Final Four run as well. He goes over with Dusty May from FAU to Michigan. He's their leading scorer. I mean, a lot of things go through him, so it's a different style of basketball. But Auburn's got to be careful, T. Michigan did win the Big Ten tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They played really well in the regular season. Shocking to me that they got a 5 seed. I thought they would get better than that. Like when you win the Big Ten tournament and you were second in the Big Ten in the regular season, and outside the SEC, they got the most teams into the NCAA tournament. Like for me to get a 5 seed, like that feels like I should have at least been a 3 seed. You look at their resume and who they've played and who they've beaten in this season, not only in conference play, but in the non-con. Michigan's capable of beating Auburn. Like they really are. After they had their 3-game stretch, Michigan did, where they lost to Illinois, Maryland, and Michigan State. Since then, they've been on an absolute tear, haven't lost a game. That's including ranked wins against Purdue, against Maryland, against Wisconsin, then obviously what they've done here in the NCAA tournament. UC San Diego was a trendy upset pick.
Yeah.
They beat them. Texas A&M, obviously, is a 4 seed. They housed them, ends up being by 12. Auburn's got to be on upset alert.
Yeah, so they've already taken care of a couple of the other, in that streak, a couple of the other Sweet 16 teams that are still there.
Yep.
Texas Tech, Arkansas, Coach Cal looking to continue this just insane finish to a year that appeared so dead early on. Texas Tech just all about defense, just dominant defense, and then letting JT Toppin be their kind of offensive engine. And then for Arkansas, I mean, who do you have here?
By the way, Toppin was at New Mexico. Crazy that New Mexico won a tournament game like after losing a player like that. I guess that's why Richard Pitino is now the Xavier head coach. For Arkansas, it's like, can we continue to be Cinderella?
Yeah.
Can we, like, it's wild to say that about a Coach Cal team in Arkansas who's won national championships in basketball before, but they are a 10 seed. I think Neuheisel said it best. He's like, they're Cinderella with a Jimmy Choo shoe on.
Well done, Coach.
Yeah.
I think Boogie Flan's kind of interesting from Arkansas. He was the big 5-star NBA prospect kid. He hurts his hand, supposed to be out for the year. He's back for the tournament. He hadn't done anything special yet, but he has so much natural talent that maybe this is the moment where he writes his legend. Alabama, BYU. BYU, so hot right now.
Oof, this is going to be like, this is going to be a track meet.
Yeah.
It's going to be an absolute track meet. You know what the total on this game is?
I do not. I know that Alabama's obviously great all year long, and I read that over the past 5 weeks, BYU 4th nationally in adjusted offensive efficiency, 2nd in offense overall, and just tearing it up.
175.5.
Damn.
Is the total number for this game. You look at Florida and Maryland, 2 good offenses. That's at 157. Duke and Arizona. Now, Arizona is atrocious at shooting the 3-point ball. They're 300th in the country, but still like a team that can score points. That's 154. Texas Tech and Arkansas is 147.
Yeah.
This game's at 175. It is going to be back and forth. It's going to be high scoring. BYU can keep up with Alabama. I know Alabama's got the nation's best offense. BYU's in the top 20.
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of those games that if you blink, you're going to miss like 6 baskets. Probably the game, honestly, like of tonight's slate that I'm looking forward to the most, even more than Florida and Maryland.
Alabama, BYU. Then you got Tennessee, Kentucky. You love this, an SEC rivalry finding its way, and like 2 teams that even within the SEC have a specific rivalry now finding their way to one another in the Sweet 16. Kentucky's already beaten Tennessee twice this year, and yet it seems like everybody's picking Tennessee to win this game.
I guess it's just one of those situations where it's like, you ain't going to get me 3 times.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe so.
We're really good. You're not going to get me 3 times. It's not the best matchup for Tennessee. That's why they've gone down twice to Kentucky. But Tennessee certainly has found their form. You look at what they were able to do in the SEC tournament. Now they lost to Florida, but Florida just mollywopped everybody. Tennessee beating UCLA, that's a big win in the tournament. UCLA was one of those teams that if they would have made a run all the way to San Antonio, I don't think anybody would have been shocked because they had that kind of talent and Cronin on the bench. But they take care of them 67-58 in the last round. So Tennessee's playing well, but Kentucky they have their number. As I mentioned, it's not a great matchup for them. Kentucky was actually a dog to Illinois in the last round. Even though Illinois was a 6 seed, Kentucky wins that game by 9. So this is going to be a heavyweight fight. I would expect like low scoring too. Like I don't even know what the total is. Let me look at it.
Big moment for Pope here.
145.5 right now. I expect it to be under that and just like a little bit of a heavyweight. Let's figure each other out a little bit, then we'll start to throw some haymakers.
Duke, Arizona, I mean, is it still, it's just Duke, best team?
Yeah. And
even though I did find one little interesting piece here, Jake. So Arizona's Caleb Love.
Yep.
Used to be at UNC.
Yep.
And he's the one that hit the game-winning shot to end Coach K's career in the Final Four back in 2022. So already has experience with giving Duke heartbreak. Going to try to do it again.
Yeah, I don't know that Arizona can keep up with Duke. I love Tommy Lloyd. He was a longtime Gonzaga assistant, and he's the head coach now at Arizona. They've got a good basketball team. Just offensively, if Love is not on, I don't know that they can get production from anybody else to be enough to beat Duke. When Duke showed us that they can win the ACC tournament without the nation's best player and probably #1 overall pick in Cooper Flagg, that goes a long way with me. And that was a Louisville team that was a top 10 team in the country. They beat North Carolina as well without their best player. They've got him now. He is fully rested. He's locked in. He played in the first round game when a lot of people told him he didn't have to because he's like, why? I'm healthy. I'm going to go play. He's locked in. Duke's locked in. I think they win. That's why this is the biggest line of any of the games. It's Duke minus 9.5.
And then Houston, Purdue. I mean, defense wins championships, and that's what Houston does, right? Like that's just
number 1 in the nation.
Yeah.
And they play a brand that nobody else plays. The thing that you worry about, I guess, if you're a Houston backer is, okay, what if the offense doesn't show up? What if we go cold one night? Is the defense going to be enough? Can we score enough points? I think maybe in the later rounds it's not going to be enough. It's going to be enough. I think Purdue's been very fortunate. Now, High Point was a good mid-major, but they played High Point in McNeese.
Yeah.
McNeese is a very good mid-major, but they played High Point in McNeese.
Yeah.
I think that's why they're here. Houston had to go through Gonzaga in the second round. That Gonzaga being an 8 seed was surprising.
Sure.
A lot of people thinking 6 seed after they won the West Coast Conference tournament. But they go through Gonzaga. I think that builds them confidence. I think they actually make slight work of Purdue.
There you go. That's a little Sweet 16 preview. Coming up next, closing on hour 2. And then we got Jay Johnson kicking off hour 3. Keep it locked in Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to Pelican Roofing, guys. If you live in Lafayette or Baton Rouge and you need some work done on your roof. Now, it's commercial and residential, but you want to go to pelicanroof.com. Louisiana's most trusted roofing experts, over 500 5-star reviews. We have storm-ready roofing solution. We have unmatched roofing expertise. And you go to the website, and there's a few different ways that you can get your estimates. You get an instant quote with their instant quote tool that you just put in your address. It uses satellite imagery to kind of look at things, let you know. You can put in your name, number, email, address, how they can assist you, submit that. They'll get to you. You can text them right there from the website as well. So again, guys, here's what Thomas had to say. Pelican Roofing has been a dream to deal with. The communication before, during, and after the process by Eric, and man, he was top notch. The job was done in a very timely manner, and then the crew stayed after completion into the dark to make sure to do a very good cleanup, and came back the following day to ensure all the nails were picked up. My expectations were definitely exceeded, and anyone looking for roofing work would be doing themselves a disservice by using anyone other than Pelican Roofing. PelicanRoof.com.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life. So why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand.
Back from the break, where the sports talk gets real. Kinda. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Shut up. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Wrapping up hour 2, we got Jay Johnson coming up next. Did y'all see any of the stuff coming out of the LeBron Pat McAfee interview? Pretty interesting, man, getting LeBron to sit down for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
You don't really get that anywhere.
Pretty fascinating stuff. Well, actually, before we get there, Tay, what did you think about Bronny dropping 37 in a G League game?
It's exciting.
What's up,
right?
dude?
I mean, that's impressive.
What's up?
Ben Simmons never dropped 37 in a G League game. And he's passed him for career threes too.
True,
so
that's what I'm saying.
Some are saying.
The only thing, and first off, I think LeBron actually came off as pretty likable in the whole thing. And honestly, hearing him talk about the Bronny stuff, like regardless of what you think about all that, it is cool from a father-son perspective. He was talking about how basically when they were on the court together that first game, that it was just like, he felt like he wasn't even there, like he was on another plane of existence. Like it was such a weird, like unbelievable dream come true type of moment. It was cool, because he had the cardiac arrest and everything like the year before. The one thing that I didn't really love that he talked about, you hear him talk about Giannis scoring 250 in an NBA game in the 70s.
I didn't hear that portion of it. I heard a lot of it, but I did see the graphic of that. I didn't hear it, though.
Dude. I think it's so disrespectful to the old school cats that came
I do
before.
Too.
And it's like it's not only disrespectful to the actual skill of the players that came before, and I get what he's getting at, but also it's flawed because, like, yeah, man, generation to generation, like, we build off of those who came before us. Okay, like, when did you learn that if you shoot light through a prism, it splits into colors?
Oh, I don't know. What?
Junior high?
Yeah, maybe 4th or 5th grade.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit before that.
Exactly, right? Well, if I dropped you before the time of Isaac Newton, who discovered that, you would appear to be a genius, even though you did not discover that, right? You only got that. So it's like, just because I could drop you in a previous time and you would be better, that doesn't mean you're better than those people, at least not naturally. And here's what else would send me down a rabbit hole in. I don't care who you're talking about, Giannis, LeBron, anybody. Still, nobody's ever been as freakish as Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain was 7 feet 1 inches tall with a vertical jump that was that I went on a deep dive on this.
Uh-oh.
And it is thought to be 46 to 48 inches. Spud Webb had a 46-inch vertical.
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain was 7'1" and could jump, and that was in Chuck Taylor's.
Maybe in PF Flyers.
That was without weight training, without good shoes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, do the reverse. What if you dropped Wilt Chamberlain into today's game? He would still be putting up crazier numbers than anybody else because he's more athletic than anybody else.
And also the physicality of the 70s. Like, you were going to catch a fade if you came into the lane as well.
Yes. So, no, get out of here. Get out of here, Brian. I love you, but no, I don't agree with that. That kind of triggered me. Shout out Wilt Chamberlain, though. All right, when we get back, Jay Johnson coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Hey, guys, go to yourgoodwood.com. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness is there. They are your wellness experts, okay? And they are going to help you reach your full potential in 2025 because that's the point of this, okay? We are done settling for mediocrity. Maybe you're suffering from ED, maybe low T, maybe it's none of these things. You just don't, like, you just want to fight the aging process. We have plans that we can customize for you to help you accomplish your goals, no matter what those goals may be. But the first step is on you. It's booking the consultation and figuring out what's going on in your body and letting them customize a plan for you. Go to yourgoodwood.com.
You go to the website today, get everything locked up and scheduled. See what, I mean, they can do for you as well, but get that consultation set up. They're going to help you get to where you want to go. Yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Thursday, March 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 80 in hour 3 of today's show. LSU baseball coach Jay Johnson hops on the show at 9 a.m. Then 9:15, our Munchies segment with LSU executive chef Michael Johnson. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo! What's going on, y'all? Hour number 3 of OTB here on this Thursday. We got a huge hour planned for you, and it starts with the head man of LSU baseball. That's right, Coach Jay Johnson, back in action tonight in the box. LSU, Mississippi State. Coach, what's going on, man? How we feeling on game day?
Ready to roll. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Very excited to catch up with you again. Hell of a midweek game to reset the table, get ready for this weekend. Let's start here, though, Coach. When you look at your goals for what you want to see out of your team over the next 3 days, like on the other side of this, what is the main goal that you want to be able to say, okay, I wanted us to accomplish this thing, and we went out and did it?
Yeah, I think we want to obviously win every game that we play. Like we treat this season like it's a 56-game playoff bracket. And our team has done a great job of showing up ready to play every single game. And so I want to make sure we kind of stay in that character. I think from a baseball standpoint, I think it starts on the mound, obviously, with strikes and limiting free bases and making the offense earn it. And Mississippi State has a really good offense and power. So you want to really, really neutralize the free bases. Play clean defense, which for the most part we've done a pretty good job of, with a couple exceptions. And then offensively, just stay with it. I mean, we've had 2 games where we've kind of been slowed down a little bit, and that's it. And so we just want to keep going there.
Coach T-Bob and I were talking about Mississippi State stats, like in SEC play, and they're not what the record says. The record's 1-5 in league play, but T-Bob did a great job breaking down. The stats are actually really, really good, and so as you're preparing for this team and you're kind of talking with your team, and maybe they do understand it, like, hey, I realize the record is what the record is, but this is a good baseball team. Have you had those conversations?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, like, it's just cut it to this, like, it's Omaha caliber team. Like, right. I mean, and you don't need to look any further than where we were, 3 or 4 weeks into last year, and we were an Omaha caliber team. And that's just the only league that this is going to happen. And they played Texas the first weekend, who we just played, and they played Oklahoma, who's like 21-3. So and we're all kind of going through that. There's just nobody's not going through that. So yeah, I'm not worried about our team having full attention to what we need to do this weekend. You know, they're a good team, so it makes it hard to execute it, but the readiness deal I'm pretty comfortable with.
Coach, I don't know if you can answer this or not, but Mississippi State looking like they're playing with their starting rotation a little bit, saving their ace for game number 2. Are there any plans to make any adjustments therein for you?
No. We're Cade will start tonight, and feel good about that. He's done a terrific job with his body. So 6 days is enough. He's ready to go. And always try to coach that way. Like, you know, look inward first. What's best for our team? Yep. I believe it's best for our team to get him out there and going tonight. And so that's what we're going to do.
And Coach, I know that you speak all the time about the importance of every single game and how you approach the midweek. And when you look at last week's series, it's such an odd series in that, through that Curiel home run, everything was so good. And then it all kind of turned a bit. And offensively, well, like you said, one of the only lulls that you've really had. But then you come right back in the midweek. The bats are locked in, 9 runs in inning number 1. How important was it for you to see that response out of your team after probably coming out of last week and a bit disappointed?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I think, I mentioned this before. I don't know if I mentioned this with you guys, but I had a conversation with the team after we actually lost our first game that I was talking with Dylan Cruz in the offseason, and he's like, I don't even know how it came up, but it was like, hey, you'll know what you have after you lose your first game, and how they respond to it. And he's like, hey, Coach, remember, we would lose a game, and then we'd score 2 in the first, and the next inning I was like, well, Dylan, you probably hit a home run. That's probably why. But it was, point well taken. And, I think we won 17 in a row after that loss. And so I don't worry. I did not even have a concern about that. I think for me, it's more of hey, the grind, if you want to call it, of this thing is very real once you get into league play. And, hey, first league road trip, yeah, we lost the series. But I was more like, hey, mentally, physically, just from a fatigue standpoint, you always got to be careful of that. And so I've actually adjusted several things this year that we're doing, to try to help the Stephen Milam, Danny Dickinson, Curiel, Stanfield, Luis Hernandez, these guys that are playing very heavy load roles so that they can be as sharp as they can when the game starts. And, it's still early. I mean, we're not quite almost halfway through, but so far so good. These guys have been pretty consistent.
Yeah, Coach, and you've had some young baseball players play all season long, but there were some that had some good performances on the road in an environment like that at Texas, first SEC series, and they handled that and they played well. So I would assume that, for your mindset, it's okay, next time we go on the road, it's going to be even better because it's not the first time. It's maybe not the same situation, but I did think there were some young players on the baseball team that handled that.
Yeah, no doubt. And we have good baseball players. We have skilled players. It's the league is just a different animal, with physicality and big arms and big bats. But as far as baseball skill and execution and those types of things, I really like this team. And the good thing about those types of players is there's a consistency element to what they bring to the table. And I think that's part of why we've had some success here early this year. And to do it, in a road environment like that is a real positive. And, like I said, there's a few things that could have tipped the scales our way. I think we learned a lot, from that series. And you have to do that because there's another haymaker or challenge coming around the corner. So we got to keep improving through winning and losing. And something I take a lot of pride in. And I think these guys will continue to do that.
If you'll allow us to take a quick step away from what's immediately at hand here with you with another SEC series beginning today. Pretty cool, man. Paul Skeens today going to become the fastest ever first overall pick to start opening day. I think Dylan Cruz starting as well. Are you going to keep a side eye on any of the MLB action today? Some of your former players?
Yeah, didn't even realize it was opening day today, to be honest with you. But I don't know. Maybe
Locked in.
Well, we were all growing up, it was on a Monday or something. I don't know. That just didn't register. But super proud of those guys. Love those guys, and yeah, I'll check in on how they did after we're all done tonight.
The thing is, I absolutely 100% believe you, Coach. I know you had no idea.
No. Again, we got way more immediate stuff going on here tonight. The Box, Mississippi State, the Bulldogs. Coach, it seems like this portion of the SEC season, you're still finding, okay, what are the exact roles? Who can we exactly rely on, and where can we rely on them? And the bullpen is kind of highlighting a lot of those discussions. What is your process for continuing to find the answers out of the pen and where guys fit best? And then how do you approach your plan in terms of moving those chess pieces?
Yeah, I think it's a little more complex this year because we have a talented team, because we haven't lost very many games. I think you can't get lost. Like, Cade Anderson's the only pitcher so far that had thrown an SEC inning coming into this year.
Wow.
And so, yeah, like when you say that, it's like, oh, wow. Now, with that being said, I think guys got plenty enough talent to get the job done. There's a little bit of a matter of getting them out there and going through it. And then there's like marked improvement. I sat in the office with Coach Yeski and Jamie Tutko on Monday morning, and we talked about 8 or 9 of the key guys and what's their path to execution, what makes them the best, and make sure that they're in tune with that. And then when they're locked in on that, they're pitching with more conviction. You can line them up better against, certain type of hitter. And we put a lot of work into that as is, but they got to execute it to do it, so just getting total awareness. So it gives them the best chance to do it. And, and that's with all of them. That's with the starters. And, can they give us a little bit more length in the game? And, and that was the tricky spot about Saturday, is it was the 5th inning. There was a lot of outs to get still when we made the move, and, it didn't work. And, we will learn from that and try to help those guys be better, help us be better, and go get it.
Coach, I want to ask you about one more player before we let you go. Zach Cowan, somebody we've talked a lot about this week, and obviously LSU fans know him from the regional a year ago. I mean, he's been so dominant, whatever role you've brought him into this year. Is there a set-in-stone plan for him, when you go into these weekends, or because he's been so valuable, maybe you allow it to be more of a feel thing because when he's come in, he's kind of shut the door on the opposing offense?
Yeah, he's going in when it matters, you know what I mean, type. That's basically what it comes down to. And, against Missouri, we scored 12, had some space, and then they started to kind of creep back in a game a little bit, and I was like, no, we're not doing this. And so, but he only threw 14 pitches, so he was available to throw, 2 1/3 on Sunday, and, last week, kind of an odd situation. I mean, he was hot. It was 4-2. It quickly became 6-2, and then it became 8-2. And then so it's like, well, we got to get him in. Well, then, something happened. We made an error or something like that, and the pitch count crawled up really high, really fast. And then I started looking at it, and when you haven't lost in a month, you're going okay, we got enough. Let's run Zach. And the other reason I wanted to run him for 3 innings was because of this weekend coming up, it being Thursday. We kind of were able to get him a week off because we've taxed him pretty good. And I thought, you know what, we have enough to take care of the 2 games. We didn't execute that, but we did get him 6 days off, which at this point in the year with what he's doing and how he's done it is a big deal. And so anyway, that was a little bit of part of that. And now, it's this game, and when we need to win, obviously, and it's tight, he'll be a part of that.
Yeah, I love that you take the time to just honestly lay out your logic, the thought that goes behind these decisions, and I know our audience definitely appreciates it as well. Coach Jay Johnson, LSU head baseball coach, series starting tonight in the Box, 7 p.m. night, 6:30 on Friday night, 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday. Get out to the Box, get loud, get crazy, make it hell on them dogs. And, I can't wait, Coach. Best of luck this weekend.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you for making
You,
time
Coach.
with us here on game day. And, kick ass tonight. Coach Jay Johnson, the man. Yeah. I mean, look, guys, nothing. That sounds like a man who is still supremely confident in this team, where it's going, and knows that they're finding the answers and how to best manipulate said answers. Coming up next here on OTB, we got some Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. Whole team on wild.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Per gallon bonus.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Say what? Here we go.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. It's time for some Munchies.
Get ready to tantalize your taste buds and leave this segment hungry. This is Munchies with executive chef Michael Johnson. Let's eat.
Chef Johnson, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are y'all?
Pretty crappy. I have the flu.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
It's going around. Yeah.
What's your go-to flu meal?
Oh man, it's difficult for me to eat when I have the flu. I'm really just kind of warm liquids and like soups. I had crackers and chicken noodle soup. I kind of revert back to a child/princess.
Definitely gets harder as you get older, dude.
Oh man, yeah.
It's crazy. Hashtag Munchies. What's Chef's opinion of frying in beef tallow instead of oil? Is it healthier?
I don't know that it's healthier. No, in a general sense, like if beef or if fat sits at room solid at room temperature, like you have to expect that's kind of like in a general form, like that's not going to be super healthy for you. Now, like there are there are things in there that are healthy for you. It's not the unhealthiest, but like it's not going to be as healthy as polyunsaturated fats. I think it's monosaturated or something like that, or I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest with you. Fats in a whole is a very complicated deal. You got to really pay attention to the polys and the monos and all that stuff. And but if you're looking for flavor and you like the taste of beef fat, like there's nothing like it. I wouldn't hesitate to season a good skillet with it, because it has the flavor there for sure.
I mean, what is good to cook in though? Because like it just feels like, Chef, the more and more that we go down the road, it's like, okay, actually that's not great to cook in. Like what can you cook in that actually still has flavor, that's not like the worst thing for you, or not even like the worst thing for you, but something that's actually like, healthy-ish?
Yeah, so we cook with canola primarily, or a blend of canola, rice, and olive oil. So depending on what we use, we actually have 4 oils here that we use. One is straight olive oil, and that's for making dressings and stuff like that. You don't want to really cook in a saute pan with olive oil because it has a low smoke point. Then we have a olive oil blend that is good for putting on things that you're roasting in the oven. It's like olive oil and canola, and the canola helps raise the smoke point of that slightly. And like when you're going in the oven, you're typically not going over 375. If you're going over 375 degrees in an oven, it better either be fish or a small vegetable that you're trying to roast it and get a nice crust on, because typically you don't need to put food in an oven over that temperature. Anybody who wants to argue with that, that's fine, but that's our rule around here. And then you have a saute oil, which a saute oil is, it's getting screaming hot. You're putting it into a pan and you're looking to get the Maillard reaction out of it very quickly. And so we use a olive oil canola rice blend. And rice oil, I think, is closer to 500 degrees smoke point, and it really allows you to abuse that oil a little bit. Rice oil is very neutral flavored. Rice oil, a lot of people are turned off by it because it's so neutral flavored that you're not actually getting the flavor from the oil that you're used to.
Yeah.
Canola is something, you know what I mean? And like when you fry a French fry in oil, in rice oil, it comes back and it tastes so potatoey.
It's just a potato.
Like, yeah, right. Yeah, and people aren't used to that, right? And so they're like, "Oh, wow, that's weird." But rice oil it's healthy for you, but it's expensive as hell. One, it's kind of difficult to find. I mean, you can imagine how much rice you have to go through to get some oil out of it, right? And then,
true.
But it also has an extremely high smoke point, so it tolerates a lot of stress, and it helps. The flavor of the olive oil that's in there, I have all the polyunsaturated in there. One thing that we do look for with our oils, especially with canola in particular, is watching out for GMOs. Just because that's, like preferentially, I don't like to put GMOs. Also, and this is kind of a political thing, you'll excuse me, but when the war between Russia and Ukraine came upon us, we stopped buying canola from that region of the world because the Russians could control some of the oil over there, the canola, and so we started buying Canadian instead because there was from a company standpoint, we're not trying to help fund a war, right? So
Yeah.
it gets a little political in there, but like trying to make the right decisions for the right reasons. It's something that we have in the back of our minds.
I mean, this is one of the most interesting parts of us talking every week, are not just the excellent food tips, but recognizing just some of the decision points that like a chef actually has to make and everything that you're in charge of.
It wasn't so long ago that the cartels were importing drugs with avocados, and that year on the Super Bowl there was an advertisement for avocados at halftime.
Yeah.
And it was primarily because there was a huge movement by chefs to stop buying avocados from Mexico because it was known that the cartels were using the avocados to move them in. Sure, we want Mexican avocados. They're some of the best avocados on earth, but we weren't trying to support what was going on down there with the cartels. And so that was a huge push to get away from it. And it hit so hard that once, they felt like they got some of that stuff sorted out, they advertised in the middle of the Super Bowl for avocados and trying to gain some business back.
That's crazy. I'd feel, well, never mind. Hashtag Munchies. Wait, real quick though, side note here. So am I out of pocket for baking my salmon at 400?
No.
I mean, I watched the temperature on it.
No. Fish is one of those things that will tolerate it, right?
Oh, okay.
I thought I said that, but
you
fish,
did.
Fish and no, fish
It's
will
on me.
tolerate it, especially salmon, because salmon has a lot of fattiness to it. It's going to tolerate that stress. You just want to pay attention when you're baking your salmon. When the muscle groupings start to pull away from one another, you got to get it out of the oven. A lot of people wait too late, right? And if you don't want your salmon will tolerate some stress, but the perfect cooked salmon still has a lot of moisture throughout the middle of it.
Yeah.
And you want to look for that muscle. The muscle tissues will start to pull away. The groups will start to pull away from one another. And there's this kind of white, cloudy white, watery liquid that comes out of it that indicates it's pushing liquid out. It's kind of the equatable of the myoglobin moving out of a steak when it goes medium. You're looking for that same kind of indicator in a piece of salmon and fish in general. When you start to see that liquid push through the skin, that's indicator that it's going medium to medium well, and you can pull the fish and let it rest. Specifically a piece of salmon. You can eat a salmon medium rare. Well, you can eat it raw, right? If it's from the right place. But I like my salmon medium. So I pulled a little bit before that. But that is a visual indicator if you're baking your salmon that you can pull it.
Chef, so this says hashtag Munchies opening day. What's your ultimate hot dog? But as someone who was in charge of MLB teams in the past, do you have like an opening day memory that stands out?
Man, I have a real emotional soft spot for opening day in baseball, man. And I was in baseball for like 15 years, and I've had quite a few opening day memories. But I think my fondest probably was with the Mariners. There was a couple of years there that we were voted best food in baseball.
Oh, whoa, let's go. Congrats.
Yeah. So, to be able to put that feather in your cap, that definitely stands up there. It's kind of interesting because my year one at the Mariners, we were voted best food in baseball. Year two, we went down to number 2, and the San Francisco Giants took it over. And year 3, we battled back and forth for it, and I ended up. I have to say we because it was a team effort.
Yeah.
We took number 1 again, and then I moved to the Seahawks. And when I got to the Seahawks, we were ranked number 28 by the Voice of the Fan in football food. So we within opening day of football to halfway through the season went from 28 to number 3.
Damn, Chef.
And Voice of the Fan in football. So opening days and those big moments like that. People associate food with hot dogs and popcorn with stadium food, but we next leveled it up. I mean, we were serving all kinds of crazy stuff, brother. Pork belly sliders and banh mi and bao buns, and I mean, if you can, especially in Seattle, people would come to the Mariners not for the experience of the ball game, because those were years there where they were, they made it to postseason once. But I mean, people would come there for the food and the beer. my first year there, I was in charge of the beer taps. I wasn't the executive chef that year. I was the director of operations that year, and so I was the guy in charge that got to determine every beer that went online for 700 tap handles. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was a popular guy. I was a popular guy in Seattle. You know, like there was a constant influx of beer vendors and whiskey and spirit vendors bringing samples through my office because they were, you know, always looking to gain handles and lines. And I was a very fair person. And it's kind of interesting too. It is a unique thing to see this. If you walk into a stadium to see both Miller Lite and Budweiser as sponsors, and they had a shared sponsorship there. It was split down the middle 50-50.
Damn.
So I think we actually had 701 tap handles. So, you know, there was this constant conversation of who gets the extra handle, right? And so I ended up taking it away from both of them and giving it to a local vendor that, you know, like, and told them if you don't like it, you know, tough nuggies, because the Mariners were in support of it.
Oh, man, I wish I could have been a quality control guy for you, you know? I would have been perfect for that role. Chef Michael Johnson, happy opening day, Chef. Thank you so much for making time for us every single week. You have a great day, man.
Of course. Take care, guys.
Hey, Chef.
There it is, Munchies, Chef Michael Johnson. So the reason why we got out of that bit earlier than we normally do is because we have Brett Lewis of the NFL Network coming on next, talk a little draft. So keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to trashrangers.com, trashrangers.com, Trash Rangers. Reliable, hassle-free trash removal. If you are a business owner anywhere in the listening area and you need somebody to handle your waste removal, why not go with the guys who are your neighbors, okay? Small local business, Trash Rangers, right? They give a damn. There's just a better level of service than you get from these national companies where you're really nothing more than a number on a spreadsheet. Like, do you ever feel like you're just being taken for granted, right? Like you're like doing them a favor. Well, that's not the case when you work with Trash Rangers. And being a business, we understand the complex needs of a business. So if you need front load dumpsters and even from 1 to 6 days a week, we got you. Big roll off dumpsters for any size project, we got you. Go to trashrangers.com, trashrangers.com.
225-363-9053 is the number. We always tell you there's 3 different sizes of roll-off dumpsters. So if you've got a project at your home, at your business, give that number a call. Tell them what you've got going on. They're going to make sure you have the right size. Trashrangers.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Back at it, where sports talk meets pure chaos. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. And right now, it's time to talk some draft with Sirius and the NFL Network and Metairies' own Rhett Lewis at Rhett NFL. Rhett, what's going on, brother? Thank you for making some time for us this morning.
My pleasure, fellas. Always great to chat with you guys, to talk, a little draft season.
Yeah.
We are approaching draft month, so fired up, man.
Yeah, it is one of those times where you never quite know what to believe, what not to believe. Let's start with quarterback, though, Rhett. Obviously, Cam Ward feels like he is the number one pick with a bullet. But I think the most interesting piece on Cam Ward lately has been, I feel like I've started to see the conversation shift from, okay, he's just number one because of the context of this class. And I feel like I've seen it shift more like, no, he'd be worthy of a number one pick in multiple drafts. Where do you fall on the Cam Ward debate?
Yeah, look, I think he's for sure the number one pick. He's number one pick worthy in this draft. But I think, look, if you look back at last year's draft, which is kind of tough because it's a little bit historical.
Yeah.
There's some precedent there with 6 and 12 picks and all that. I don't think he's one of the first 3 quarterbacks taken last year. And honestly, he might end up being the 7th quarterback taken last year. So, look, I don't think that's an indictment on who Cam Ward is. I mean, like, those guys ended up being really good. Look, shoot, Bo Nix was the last one taken and was, in the running for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So I think you got to look at it that way too. Sometimes that's a tough class to compare to.
No, it definitely is, Red. I mean, it is one, like you mentioned, historical class, and you got so many great players, and looking forward to seeing what they do in year number 2. But staying with quarterback, like, are we going to see, because it is quarterback, maybe even 3 quarterbacks go in the first round, just because whenever there's that need at that position, maybe you do overreach? Like, could we see a Jackson Dart find his way into the first round?
Yeah, I think for sure you could definitely see that. I think Jackson Dart is a good, clean QB prospect. Like, I think he's right up there. And I don't think he's that far off from Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
In terms of grade, in terms of where they may end up going, especially now that the Giants signed Russell Wilson. I think if Cam goes 1 and the Browns decide no dice on QB, then what? Right? Then where?
Yeah.
And so then I think, that'll start to push down. I think the Saints is an interesting, kind of conversation when it comes to quarterback this year. I wouldn't feel great about taking, a true franchise quarterback, beyond Cam in this class. So I don't know that I feel like the value is better trying to take, like a Tyler Shuck in the 2nd round rather than pushing a Jackson Dart up to number 9 or 10 or whatever it ends up being.
So don't say number 9. That would get people around here to get their ears to perk up a little bit.
Hey, no, it's already. Look, my buddy Fletcher Mackle down in New Orleans has been spewing it all over the place.
Like you said, there's the Browns. They're putting smoke out there. They're not going quarterback. The Giants, with the signings of Russell Wilson, Jameis, I feel like they wouldn't go quarterback. So where do you think Shedeur ends up landing?
look, here's the other thing. Russell Wilson is on his 4th team. Jameis Winston might be on his 14th. I can't remember now. And even in Las Vegas, you've got a mid-30-year-old Geno Smith. I don't think any of those signings preclude those teams from taking a quarterback, but it takes the pressure off a little bit, right? And so, I feel like most teams are going to want to push their chips in next year's draft class, especially for the quarterbacks. Yeah. Because when we look at it this year, we've got every team with a first-round pick. That's the first time that's ever happened in the common draft era.
Oh, wow.
Every team has their own first-round draft pick. Nobody has traded.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that it won't happen when we get to draft day, but I just don't think that there are prospects in this class that are necessarily, causing teams to feel like they really want to shoot up to go get somebody. Now, could somebody come back into the second half of the first round to say, all right, the value is now here to take that, let's say third quarterback or maybe even the second when it comes down to it.
Red, I was out at LSU's Pro Day yesterday, and you and I have talked about this player before, but I don't think anybody had a better day than tight end Mason Taylor. He was somebody that had a really good Senior Bowl, and he was, going to be a first 3-round guy, but it feels like he's worked his way into maybe even a top 55 player. I know there's some mock drafts that have him in the 30s. Mason Taylor, big day yesterday. Where do you have him right now?
Oh, yeah. He's tight end 3 for me, just behind Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. I mean, he was one of the cleanest, smoothest, and best overall prospects, regardless of position, that we saw at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
He and Gray Zabel and, maybe Shamar Stewart, Walter Nolan probably in that conversation too, were way up there. And you were there in Mobile. I mean, you can vouch for that.
Yeah.
He nailed it. He's such a professional. He's up there in terms of, he's going to be a great pro and kind of already is a really kind of professional type player with, Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. Kind of really rings to be as one of those prospects. I definitely see Mason Taylor as a top 50 player in this class. And I would probably say at this point, top half of the second round.
Rhett, the draft's all well and good, but do you know what I actually want to talk to you about?
The UFL.
Indiana football, baby. Cignetti. Kurt Cignetti, year 2, okay? I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of the premier Indiana Hoosier voice around these parts. I got loudly decried and shouted down as I continued to hype up Indiana last year. I still think people have a warped perspective of just how good Indiana was last season. What is the local hype right now around Cignetti year 2? I'm not saying it's going to be the same thing, but do you think that he can follow up with another positive year for the Hoosiers?
Yeah, and I think that depends on what people's expectation of, a positive year would be, right? Is it another CFP appearance? Is it a 10-win season? Is it bowl eligibility for a second year? I think that was the expectation year 1, right? It was let's get the 6 wins and then let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out they got the 6 wins in the first 6 weeks. So that felt pretty good. So I think we have raised that bar pretty considerably. I think at this point, with the way that he has laid a foundation, and he went out and got another quarterback, in my opinion, maybe even higher ceiling than Curtis Rourke last year.
Really?
With Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit more of an athlete too, which will help because look, as good as Bob Bostad, the offensive line coaches, and as the offensive line played cohesively last year, it's never quite going to be Ohio State level. There's only a few of those prospects, in the world, and they get a bunch of them. LSU gets a bunch of them. Alabama, it's still tough for Indiana to get those guys. So I think having a little bit of extra mobility at the quarterback spot is a positive. But they're deep, like foundational players are still there. Kyle Kamara led FBS in Houston pressures last year. Elijah Surratt was a 1,000-yard receiver. Carter Schmidt is a left tackle that's probably a D2 draft prospect next year. There are foundational players still there, and staff continuity. Offensive, defensive coordinators remain. They only lost one coach. There's a lot to be excited about there.
All right, Rhett, before we let you go, the question I always ask you when we're together, let's go to running backs. If I set the number at 1.5 running backs drafted in the first round coming up here in about a month, are you going to go over or under first-round running backs?
Over.
All right.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We're going. You can set it at 2.5. I might take you on 3.
Ooh, don't tempt me with a good time.
So what? Okay, past Ashton Genty, who is it then?
It's Omarion Hampton.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think it's gotten closer between Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah.
But I still think game speed, game breaker speed, Travion Henderson has a little bit of Jahmyr Gibbs light to him.
Hey, there's no way that Henderson makes it past 37 for sure with the Raiders and Chip Kelly. Even if he's not a first rounder, I feel like Henderson, they're going to pull their hamstring turning that card in, right?
Well, not unless they've already taken Ashton Genty at 6.
True. Yeah.
I hope he ends up a Saint.
I love it. Running backs back. You heard it there. Rhett Lewis confirmed.
Let's go, baby.
Rhett Lewis, NFL Network, Sirius XM. Also catch him on the Indiana Game Day broadcast. Rhett, thank you so much, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
All right, take it easy. Wrapping up the show next. But real quick, I do want to remind you about Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. You go to gotommys.com, G-E-A-U-X, Tommys.com. Look, you need to schedule reliable window installation in Baton Rouge. Tommy's has your back. And Tommy himself has about 30 years in the game now. What's funny is after 20 years working for somebody else, said, there are things that I would do differently. So he starts his own company, and now all 8 years they've been in the existence, they've taken home that Angie's Super Service Award. So if you want Hardy Plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, you want any type of door, you want energy-efficient options that save you money and pay for themselves over time, you want lifetime warranties, all of this at Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Go to GEAUX, Tommys.com. Ask the Bench next.
Off the bench.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, Know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Welcome back to Off the Bench, where the takes are hot and the sports talk is questionable.
Oh, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Thanks for pushing through with us today, guys. We've made it. Glad to be back. Glad to remind you about K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living, ktozblinds.com, ktozblinds.com. K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living can take your home to the next level, bring it all together. If you need drapery, shades, blinds, maybe some drop-down exterior shading for outside, some shutters, whatever the case may be, Brandon Barton and his team can get you right. Take advantage of their decades of experience. They come into your home within a few minutes. You know exactly what all your options are from a aesthetic and functional perspective, right? Remember, we work with all price points, home of your dreams, starter home, it doesn't matter. Either way, you can bring it to the next level. ktozblinds.com, K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. Time for the Ask the Bench. Favorite classic composer? Tchaikovsky is mine, with Bach as a close second. I don't know that I have a, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I
like Mozart, like, you know, you
Sure.
like what's a famous, like, and you'd hear. I would say,
well, yeah, I mean, the Nutcrackers.
That's Tchaikovsky.
Yeah, so
it's
that's
great.
pretty iconic. Sure, I'll say that.
Definitely knew that.
Holst, I can't remember his first name, but Holst, the guy that wrote The Planets. I know that's like heavily inspired John Williams. I've listened to The Planets quite a bit, so maybe some Holst in there. Hashtag Ask the Bench. No, can't do that one. Let's see. What would you rather, live in Austin proper or live in San Antonio?
What does proper mean? Like in Austin, or
I
like
guess
around
like in Austin. I bet
Easily
you.
San Antonio.
I think it's saying Austin, not like probably a lot of people claiming that they live in Austin, but
Yeah.
not actually living in Austin.
San Antonio.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because if you tell people Round Rock, nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm good.
I
on
get that.
Austin.
I say Atlanta. I don't live in. I never lived in Atlanta. I was like an hour north. Yeah, give me San Antonio. Screw Austin, dude.
I just love San Antonio.
I agree.
Hashtag Ask the Bench.
I lived in both.
Shout out Serops Express on Highland. It's our guy Avo.
It's not a
Shout out
question.
Serops. It's not a question. But this is, what's the number one Cajun seasoning?
I don't have
It
a
was
dog in
Perkins.
this fight.
Like, what is
Mount
our
Highland Perkins.
best, or like what is the most popular?
No, what's your favorite?
Canatellis has their own that they do.
Yeah.
Real good.
Okay.
It's really good.
I
know you've been there before. You've talked about it.
That's his name. Yeah, no, I used to like their crawfish. Wait, where'd you say? Oh, you said Canatellis.
Yeah, the little grocery store.
Oh, I was thinking
Yeah.
Tremonti's. I've never had Canatellis.
I thought you said.
I love Canatellis. I go get noodles from there all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I know you've been there before.
I love their
they
Muffalata Monday deal.
Yeah. Hanny and I used to do a little deal for them, but yeah, they've got their own that's really good.
Okay. My neighbor once, and me and my wife have never quit it since, they gave us, it's called champagnes, and it's got a bit more garlic in it, maybe a bit less sodium than something like Tony's, and I think champagnes is my favorite. I can't quit it. I've been in it for probably 3 years now. Ask the bench, will T-Bob be wearing his Mississippi State gear during the game tonight and blame it on a flu-induced fever dream? That's a deep cut. Like, only some of the original OTB fans even remember that.
You know who does remember?
Who?
Kevin Mawai.
I know. He's still disappointed in me for it, I'm sure. Ask the bench, when did y'all know that radio was going to be your career?
About 2011.
Yeah, I kind of got done playing, didn't know what the hell I was going to do. And I just kind of thought, I used to like doing interviews and stuff. Maybe I should do that. So I guess probably when WWL gave me that opportunity that I did not deserve, that morning show on 3WL, that's when I was like, oh, okay, like this is going to be my career actually, because now I can work it full time.
What's 3WL?
There was a small station they rebranded to be like I don't know, like an offshoot.
Like an ESPN2?
Yeah.
Type situation?
Yeah, basically.
Gotcha.
Even though, we did the morning show, but the real show on there was the legend himself, Tom Fitzmaurice. The best food show ever, 3 hours a day. God, Tom was incredible. Ask the bench, is San Antonio going to be remembered in 1,000 years? What? What does that mean?
As opposed
Remember
to like
the Alamo, I thought.
other cities?
His essay? I'm not sure. All right, guys. That'll do it for today's show. We love you. Thanks for sticking around with us. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday. Let's have some fun. Hopefully, we'll be recapping a big Game 1 win for the Tigers. See you then.
Off the bench.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioneer Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural